Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Daily Transformational Messages from Francis Meribe. Today we are dealing with episode 11, which topic is Be Patient means stay alive to see your blessings. If you had not viewed episode 10, I will recommend that you go to our YouTube channel, the African Town Hall, to view episode 10 because there's some connection with that episode to this episode. It's like a lead on. If you're able to view episode 10 and then you connect with this, it will help you. So, if you are with us this morning, after you view this, please go back to our YouTube channel and then view episode 10 so you can have connection to some of the transformational events of my life and messages that are being passed here today. Our lives are made up of situations, opportunities, challenges. Some of them are there to strengthen us. Some of the opportunities are there or challenges are there to show us how far we can go. Some of the opportunities are proof of our efforts. But whatever it is that is happening in your life, I have a recommendation that when you listen to today's story, the transformational messages will become yours and it will help you. As I hinted in yesterday's episode, after waiting for what seemed like an eternity, to me, I had this feeling that the whole thing appeared too good to be true anyway. So I left. That was a big mistake. When my big man neighbor returned from work that evening, he called me and said that internal security people came to his office to look for me and had asked him to tell me to report to their office on or before 8 a.m. the next morning. He upbraided me for failing to wait when they asked me to. I could not sleep for the rest of that night. In fact, I prayed all night in the manner of these esoteric schools. I had stopped going to church since 1978, um, and this was in 1983. By 6:30 a.m., I was at the gates of the internal security office. When I introduced myself to the people on duty and what my mission is, many of them came for my neck. One of them, called Clifford Obu, as I learned after joining the organization, and we became very close friends, told me the whole story. He said that he had closed for work and was about to go back home at 2 p.m. that day when Philip came looking for me and could not see me. And he reported back to Mr. Loka, and Mr. Loka, ordered them to look for me in all the bukateria that littered the whole secretariat in those days. He had good sense of the secretariat then. There were all sorts of eating and drinking joints, and some civil servants do nothing than to sit in some of these drinking places, especially when they have done a deal that's received bribe to, waste the money and to play pool. According to Clifford, they had combed all the secretariat bukaterias, and when they reported that they could not locate me, Mr. Loka asked them to go to the Star Printing and Publishing Company Limited and inform my referee to tell me to make myself available the next day. I waited for 6:30 a.m. From 6:30 to 9 a.m. without being attended to. I refused to get disturbed, even if it by 2 p.m. or even 12 midnight that I received attention. Think about it. Once bitten, twice shy, they say, right? The last time I hurried away, the trouble is that one I am inside right now. Anyway, I expect you will laugh and consider that I was learning a patience fast by this resolve. When Mr. Loka arrived at the office that morning, they called everybody to attention. I got up in deference to him, not to their shout of attention. He smiled and waved to everybody. And not knowing the protocol that goes in this place and how things are run, I dashed after Mr. Loka, that he being the person that I know, without knowing what the protocols in getting connections with their bosses or anybody there is like. So when I dashed after Mr. Loka as he passed the security counter, the same speed I used was matched by the security gatekeepers as they grabbed me and restrained me. It was so clean a job that Mr. Loka did not even notice what happened. I love the boys for that from that day. When I protested that that is the man I came to see, they asked to know if my head was correct. I took the hint and sat back. Moments later, Mr. Philip Opara came and invited me upstairs and gave me my interview. Philip was so impressed with my oral interview that during the typing interview, he asked me to stop halfway. When I asked him why, he said that he's so impressed with my performance um, that he could not help appreciating that I am the only person who, in his judgment, fit the kind of people he's wishing for the secretariat of the organization. He praised my maturity and expression. I was happy to be this lucky and to be judged so by a man who is meeting me for the first time. It was so great an excitement I had at my great fortune. This is the one time I anxiously wanted and received in my life. Now, how many of us can remember losing vital opportunities of life because we are not patient with ourselves, with the system, with our spouses, our children, our siblings, etc., etc.? In my book, Growing from Your Experiences, the subtitle where this story is related, appropriately read, Impatience Can Be Dangerous. Consider what would have happened if the hand of providence is not in my getting this job. Mr. Loka owed me no obligation. He had never seen me before that fateful day when I practically pushed myself on him and told him I wanted to work in the department. Patience truly means wait for your miracle. Wait a while for your blessing. Stay alive until your blessings come. If you have enjoyed our video today, please share it with your friends and family. If this is your first time on our YouTube channel, please subscribe. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this story has a connection with the story of episode 10. So I'd like you to view episode 10 so you can connect. Thank you and do have a great day.